Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm Flashback. Whoop.
Hi, I'm Adam, and the flashback is still happening. It's still happening.
And we don't podcast.
But what we did do this week, we watched the second half to Baahubali.
Yeah, Baahubali, the conclusion. And we have thoughts on it. I assume.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours. More than that.
Yeah.
But first, TeaTime.
We have tea.
I know, miracle. What is it, Adam?
It's a black tea. It's got essence of vanilla and caramel or whatever. It tastes like black tea, but it feels like there's something more in it. Because they put artificial flavors or something in there. I don't know.
You're so knowledgeable as our tea expert.
I don't know. They put the leaves in the water, and sometimes it's good.
Ira would be disappointed. It's very hot.
I have jasmine in there. If you want to...
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
We'll do it on the Last Airbender episode. We don't have to do an episode. We could.
We have to watch The Last Airbender now, Chris.
Okay.
We don't have an option. It's out on the internet.
Yeah, I can't edit it.
God damn it.
Anyway, yeah. What'd you think of the conclusion?
I liked this one more than the first one.
I did too.
However, you see, I have a big problem with this film.
Okay.
Okay, well, actually, my biggest problem with the film is the blackface. But other than that...
Yes.
These films put so much time and effort into making Baahubali Sr. like super invested.
Yes.
So that when we come back to Baahubali Jr., I don't care as much.
Yeah. I thought that too, and I was like, if the movie was just the flashback, this would be just great.
I think that the Baahubali duology should have been a trilogy, with the first film having an extended version of what we got with the guy climbing up the waterfall and going into the new lands, and then the whole film is just that.
Okay.
And then the second film is all the flashback for 3 hours.
Yeah, from the first movie and
yeah. And then for the third film, we have like a Return of the King scenario where the battle for the kingdom happens, but it's super long and super complex. Now, what we got for that final battle, we got some pretty cool stuff, but I think it would have been more satisfying if they went that route.
I think there's some credit to what you're saying with having 3 movies, because I think having an extended time where Junior is with the people, and like rallying up people and unknowingly being like a king, right? And then like
because like for Baahubali Sr, we have all of this time dedicated to giving us reasons why he's this godly prince who's a great person and strong and really cool and handsome and stuff. Yeah. But for Junior, we have stuff about how he's like cool and handsome, but not so much why the people like him. Yeah. Other than we like your dad.
Destined, yeah. Yeah. I do think that is and even at the end, like the characters that we grew attached to in the first one to some degree, like they don't even talk.
Yeah.
like Junior's. We're just gonna call him Junior.
Junior. Yeah. Let's just call him Junior. Yeah. Yeah. Junior's love interest
doesn't talk at all. Like
she has like one line.
Yeah. Like she helps with the walking around a couple times with his mom.
She fights off some dudes.
Yeah, that's about it. They did make like. I think I mentioned there's a little like that the first movie felt a little bit sexist, like just because of the way that they were portraying his love interest, Junior's love interest. Yeah. But then Devasena in this movie,
they flipped.
It was like she's awesome.
Now the women are calling all the shots for everything in the male-dominated kingdom. It's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, it was great. Well, I like that even like.
We still have a few scenes where there's some blackface, but it's not as bad as the first one. Yeah. So,
and still haven't learned.
I'm willing to accept the improvement. I'll take it.
Yeah. We have our critiques of that in the first one, and our concerns and our unknowing, I guess, about culture, but still not great. But yeah, the women in this are great.
They're
not good people.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's where I was going with this. Yeah,
I meant that they're great characters because, like, I want to. Okay, do you want to finish about like the junior senior stuff and then
No, I want you to keep going with where your thought is going right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I think the best scenes in this movie are the court scenes.
Yes.
Those are by and far the best movies in this, in my opinion. Like, because I find an interest in that. There's some good action scenes too, but I think this, because in the court scene, it brings up every single main character in the flashbacks.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. I don't disagree with you.
Yes.
But the things that are the most memorable to me about this film, and also from the director's other really good film, RRR,
yes,
is the visual splendor and the creativity they go through with that, especially in that ending fight scene with the one scene with the palm trees.
Yeah.
But
well, I didn't know that was from this movie. I've seen that scene before.
Seen that scene,
yeah,
okay.
And I was like, I didn't know that was from this movie. I was like, oh, that's not how that works.
Like, I saw that clip like 2 months ago, and that's why I wanted to watch this series.
Oh, okay.
I saw that just like isolated in a YouTube short. I'm like, and they all land perfectly. And
yeah, and they explode.
God, like, God fucking damn. Yeah. That was stupid. I want to watch this.
Yeah, it was great.
But I will say, after having watched through the first one and then going into this one, I was not expecting to see some Game of Thrones shit. And they did some pretty good Game of Thrones shit in this one.
Yeah, it was quite good. Like I said, I think the court scenes for me were just the most appealing because it showed every single character and what they're like motivated for and where they're standing, like both politically and morally and stuff, and just amplified it. Like, you know, I think we can get to them when we, you know, go through it, but each scene I think was just really good, and the betrayal.
That's G flat. I don't have perfect pitch. I don't know what note that was.
Okay. And the betrayal that was shown at the end of the first one, was much better executed than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because like the build up to it and like the lying like between everyone and stuff, and just the plotting I thought was just like, oh shit, this is just really good stuff. like I said, I think of the flashback on its own like was strong enough to be a movie. Just
like,
as it is.
Because like the second half of the first movie was flashback. Pretty much.
It was like the last hour. But yeah.
Last hour, yeah. So take the last hour from that and the first 2 hours of this.
Yeah, and it's 3 hours of movie.
3 hours of movie. Make that the second in a trilogy and go harder on the other two ones. Like more detail and more reasons to care about stuff and make shit make more sense.
Yeah.
Flesh out the characters. Tie up the loose ends with the characters that kind of got forgotten about in this one. But
yeah, that's true. I think maybe my issue imagining that now is that thinking about a third movie, I feel like would be
too much.
Yeah, but maybe that's because in this theoretical like trilogy, in the first movie, I would care a lot more about the current day people, and then in the third movie, they'd all come back and we'd get more development and be like, okay, now I remember. Because as it is, I'm like, I care more about the flashback people than I do about the current day people. And so if I had more time with those people after like the battle and like during the battle and stuff, I feel like I wouldn't care as much. And maybe that's just because of that I'm like, oh, this doesn't work out in my head as much. Like I feel like it'd just be too long and drawn out. But I understand the point. Like which I do think is fair. I do think there are some scenes that could have been cut out. Like I feel like the battle at Devasena's palace.
Oh yeah,
like
with the random
army that attacked. Yeah, I was like, okay, I didn't really care that much. I mean, they're interesting flaming bulls and floods, but
yeah, I like the redemption arc of the guy whose name I forget, the noble guy.
Oh yeah.
I stepped on your chest, but that's how I knew you were strong. That guy, Kumara.
Kumara. Is that his name? I wrote it. It could be a U or an A. I wrote it terribly. Kumara, I think.
Kumara.
Yeah, he was great. Like, and yeah, this movie I just think is much better than the first one.
Yes.
Like it's more fun. There's a lot more payoff. There's political intrigue.
There's some Game of Thrones shit.
Yeah, all the characters are much more well developed, like in my opinion.
Well, except for the current day.
Yeah, all the flashback characters are very well. Like
the characters in the present day from the first film don't really matter.
Not really. Like, not even, like, besides Junior, and even then. Like,
Yeah.
Like, Katappa mattered more.
Yeah, he did. And Devasena, but she's still from the flashback.
Yeah.
I mean, I like, the second half of this duology, like, completely made me flip on my perception of this series, because, like, after having seen that, I definitely think it's worth a watch for
the first one.
Yeah, for the first one.
Yeah, for both. Yeah, I agree. Because if it was just the first one, I'd be like, it's all right. Like, it's fine. Like, it's certainly appealing, but just maybe not everything. But this one is just very good.
Yeah.
So I think that's
This one is I'd say it's fairly comparable to RRR quality for a lot of it.
Yeah, I feel like you can...
I mean, RRR is a lot more consistent.
Yeah,
but
I feel like you can see the director, like, growing with those. Like, you see, like, different, themes and just different backgrounds and stuff being laid out a lot more simply. Like, it doesn't need to be, like, super complex. But he does make some complex... You good? He died. Anyway, this is a recommend for us. This is pretty good. We quite liked it. Adam?
I was trying to, like, keep that going, so that would be a good bit, but...
You'd just be dead the entire podcast.
Yeah. And I also couldn't keep a straight face, so... Yeah.
So recommend, right?
Oh, yeah, I would. Just go in knowing that it's a bit of a yikes.
There are some yikes, yes. Again, maybe that's just an American thing for us. I don't think...
I'm willing to bet that it's probably still racist in India.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, it is. But outside of that, it's really good.
So, yeah, outside of that, it's worth a watch. Really
but yeah, albeit this isn't nearly the weirdest things out of our list of things that we watched recently. I don't think. Like, this doesn't have the craziest moments compared to some things.
Yeah, I say that's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, let's move on to let's go to scene by scene. What's it called? How do I just... Chronological
Order. The book report segment.
The book report.
Welcome to our slideshow without slides.
Yeah, I'm not putting shit up. I put there was a visual recap. They just showed scenes from the...
Oh, yeah,
movie. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean... I
get it.
The film's released, like, a year apart, right?
I think
like if I was seeing these in theaters, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. The celebration once every 26 years to break this evil spell. I was like, that didn't come back or anything. So I was like,
what?
In the beginning, you know how Sivagaami had, like, the fire on her? Well, I guess, because they had her have the fire on her, and then they had a senior attack an elephant because the elephants are going crazy.
No, yeah. The whole point of that is to set up the one in the future.
But that was a different thing, because this is to break an evil spell after 26 years, and the other one was a blessing for never losing, right? But, like, it was the same thing, but just for different purposes.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, okay, because I remember in the first film they had something to say, like, this upcoming date is a holiday and it is significant, but I don't think they specified what. And yeah, shit. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's still, like, a visual thematic parallel, so I'm fine with it. It's hype because you're like, oh shit, she's doing what Sivagaami did. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what Sivagaami did.
Also, Sivagaami had to walk 78 miles, but Devasena only had to walk like
3 laps.
like a quarter mile at most. Like, come on.
In all fairness, there was a battle going on next to Sivagaami.
There could have been battles going on in that 78 miles. There could have been assassins and shit.
There was an elephant. That's about it. That's all we were told. Let's see. Rudra is a god that's brought up a lot in the songs.
Side note, I really like the music in this one.
Oh, really?
Not so much in the first one, but in this one I did. Because I think I finally got it, right?
Oh, okay.
Because, like, in ancient poetry in many cultures, like everywhere from like Greece to like the Middle East, and I guess India as well, because that's probably where this tradition comes from, just ancient shit. Like, epic poetry did not, like, people did not consume epic poetry like Homer's The Iliad or like the Tales of Gilgamesh. People wouldn't read them. They wouldn't really be spoken to people. They would be sung with instruments and like semi-improvised. Like there's this really good video on YouTube of this guy who's singing the Tale of Gilgamesh in ancient Sumerian.
Oh shit, that's sick.
And it's like, Kude, it's really cool.
Yeah.
But like ancient, I've seen a lot of stuff where it's like, the classics department at Oxford is putting on a performance of Homer's The Iliad. And it's just a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stylistically, those are very similar to how the music is working in Baahubali.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, they do talk about all the gods and stuff relating to that.
So it just kind of clicked for me. It's like, oh, this is like an epic fantasy. Like they're basically singing about the gods.
Yeah, and talking to these people as they're the gods.
It's just straight up an epic poetry slam.
Yeah.
I finally got it. And
like, oh, this is pretty good.
And it sounded pretty hype in the action scenes, so you know what, I'm cool with it. It's good. Yeah. I like it. Although I do think a few of them went on a bit too long, but you know, I'll take it.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, like I think we talked about it before. Like if a movie has, you know, if you're still like, oh, this is still pretty good, then it's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the different songs talk about like,
or something like that. It was good. It was good.
They talk about Rudra a lot, Protector of Seas and Land.
Oh, real quick, remind me to look up the soundtrack to Baahubali later.
Okay. I could remind you when
I liked it so much that I'm going to listen to it again.
Ooh, that's high praise. That's high praise.
And I have a music degree.
He does. Anyway, Rudra. Related to Shiva, very similar to Poseidon.
Oh, okay. So you've actually done some Hindu lore research.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Yeah, because they talk about Shiva. I know they talk about Rama again. I mean, well, I guess for the first time compared to RR. And although they talk about Sita, they talk about different god that I do not remember.
They didn't talk about it, but Ganesh has a thematic role.
Yeah,
with the elephant stuff.
Ganesha. But yeah, okay. Anyway, I was like, they're doing the elephant stuff. There's a giant bow and arrow. And I was like, just like The Hobbit.
Yeah.
We just saw The Hobbit, so I was like, that's exactly from that. Anyway, Baahubali Sr is a mommy's boy. That for a while, then he isn't later, but that's spoilers.
He's a mama's boy, and he's a mama's boy. That's a little joke for you for the Tamil version.
Yeah.
You get it? Because mama is uncle. He keeps calling Katappa that. Mm-hmm. See, I'm really smart, so I came up with that joke. It's real like heady and intellectual. You have to be of a certain level of intelligence to make that joke and understand it.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at it.
I'm gonna get more tea.
You can pour me some too. That'd be great. I put Balla's dad speaks of treason. Because he's like, why don't we just kill my wife? Also, I said this later on, but I was like, how come she got with him? Were they just arranged, man?
It was probably just arranged, yeah.
Because I was like, this guy is fucking ass.
It's royalty. They didn't have any choice.
Also, I knew for a fact his arm was CGI. Like, it confirmed it in this movie. Because it became translucent. I
think I missed that.
So I was like, hey, I knew that. I knew it looked different to me, and I have an eye for this. So that's, I knew his arm was CGI.
Oh, also about the CGI, something I noticed in the first one that I confirmed with watching this one. So since I've been going through all the different like language versions of the movie, like previously I did Hindi and Tamil, Hindu and Tamil, and then for this one I did Malayalam and English, and then I went back to Tamil.
Okay.
But for the Hindi version, whenever there's scenes with the CGI animals, like they put a small watermark in the bottom left corner that says CGI, which I guess is a cultural thing, but I find it really distracting. Why is it there? We know it's CGI. It doesn't look real. You don't have to put it there.
See, but not everyone knows that, bro. Or,
And then in the Tamil version, it doesn't have that, so.
You're like, fine, whatever. I mean, it's probably also distracting switching to 3 different languages.
No, that part was fine.
I bet Katappa could smell treachery. He's like, which I really like because they called him a dog. He's like, no, I can just smell that you guys are plotting some stupid ass shit.
Katappa's got a little bit of sass to him in this movie. It's pretty good, yeah.
Katappa talks a lot. There's a lot of things. Some of them I'm not a huge fan of. We'll get to that, but I get it. I do think he got better, but there's still some aspects of just slow-mos, just kind of for the sake of being over dramatic. And I was like, you don't need this much slow-mo. like when they're going to like the river and there's like, oh, the bandits killed all these people.
And then there's slow-mo of just the water and it's not even moving.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I didn't need that. It's fine. It's fine to do normal speed. But let's see.
Overall, I think it just could have, like, both of these films could have used a bit more time in the post-production phase just to trim things down and make some of the CG more polished and some of the transitions more seamless.
Yeah, some of the transitions. I don't think the transitions were as bad as the first one because I think the first.
No, there weren't as many in this one that I was like, ooh, that's jarring.
Yeah, there's one.
I don't remember where it was, but I do remember one.
Yeah, but in the first one there's a lot.
They were probably like pretty close to the deadline by the time they were doing that, so they just that was low on their priority list.
This maybe I'm wrong here, but I thought this one was very expensive in terms of like a.
I mean, it looks like an expensive film to make.
I guess, but I thought this was on the higher end of expenses for a typical like Indian film. I don't know.
I don't know the budgets for.
I thought I heard that.
I don't know the budgets for Collywood.
Yeah, I think
this one's Collywood, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. Although when I was looking up like some of the stuff, it's like it was filmed in Telugu and Tamil
like simultaneously in Tamil and Telugu. And
I was like, is it Collywood or Tollywood? I think it's Collywood, but
yeah, Tollywood is Telugu. That one I know. Bollywood is the scene in Mumbai because Mumbai used to be called Bombay, which is where we get the B in Bollywood.
I did not know that. Took a lot out of you.
Because like in the U.S., movie budgets are like in the hundreds of millions usually. I don't know how much it is in like for India.
Yeah, I don't know either. Or for any other place really. Like America, we're just kind of like
America. We got too much money, and most of us don't have that much.
Support your writers. Writer strike still going on. Anyway, I put Balla is pretending to be humble when his mom's like,
wait. Which one's Balla?
The evil villain man.
Mustache Hand Man. Stalin.
Mustache Hand? No, his son.
Balu.
I can't read my writing. Balu. Balu is pretending to be humble and understanding when his mom's like trying to give him gifts and stuff. He's like, you think I'm upset about me not getting king? Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it, Mom. You don't have to show your love equally like that. It's fine. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill my brother.
I wanted the kingdom, but now he took it. Oh.
Yeah. Then this is where Baahu meets Devasena. Deborah. And I was like,
yeah, he goes.
Senior has a good eye for women.
Like, all right, Chris.
I think Dev's great. I think she's great. I like badass women. I'm sorry.
I mean, I wasn't like looking at this film, being like,
That's
like
not,
you
that's
were.
not what I said. I don't remember ever doing that.
I mean, Devasena is one of the more interesting characters, so I guess you're right.
Yeah. Mr. I like Katappa over here.
Katappa's cool, man.
That's fine.
He doesn't even know what sex is. It's great.
Not wrong.
He's just like me.
And me too.
Cut this part out.
No, I will. I said I like them casually beating up the thieves because this is where, like, Deva's beating up all the thieves and she's like, you know, being a cool ass princess, and then Baahu and Katappa are pretending not to be important, and they're just like Bahu's just like in love, and he like Katappa's like gonna get killed, and then he like breaks down a tree.
Baahu, sword! Give me a sword! And it also sets up like the whole handing off of the weapons thing that comes back a whole lot later.
Yeah, in a tragic way. He kills him. I put Saitama over here just because I'm like...
Oh, yeah, because he punches the tree and it falls down?
I was thinking more like they just underestimate him and then later he just fucking one-shots things.
No, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Let's see. Baahu... Okay, so then we get to when Devasena is testing Baahu, and then he fucking just tanks a hit from the fucking... Not a bull, but
some kind of a bovine.
Yeah. He's just like, ugh.
Oh no, my arm! It's broken. Also, I think this whole scene where he's pretending to be a dumbass. Yeah. I think I actually like him more as a dumbass than as a god.
As a god, yeah. He's fun. I will say I don't like Katappa as a meek, like, oh no sir, you're so cool. So I was like, Katappa, shut the fuck up.
I like the parts where he's like, where he's singing him a lullaby. He's like, oh, my nephew, his parents died and he was kicked in the head by a horse as a child. Oh, he only 3 of his fingers work. Oh,
his arm's broken now. Now what will he do?
He can't read. He can't speak.
That was kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. You definitely didn't have an accident right now.
No, there was some time in between where there were cuts. I didn't notice.
Anyway. Let's see. Balu fell in love with the Deva too.
Did he though?
No, he fell in lust with her.
Did he though?
Kind of.
I'd say he fell in lust for power.
That too.
You
could do both.
It's a political marriage. He doesn't actually care about the love. He just wants to be king. And he's like, oh, if I married this girl, then Bahu's going to be pissed off. And that's why he wants to marry the girl.
I feel like there was some attraction there, though, where he was like, I think she's kind of hot. Because it felt like that.
I mean, canonically, she's beautiful.
Yes.
I'll believe them.
I think she's pretty. I wanted to make a reference because I wrote down. I was like, because Balu puts a giant poster up of her. And I was like, he's just like the Maizono dude on TikTok.
Maizono dude?
You know from Dangaronpa, Maizono, the blue hair girl that dies immediately.
In which one?
The first one.
The first one.
Where she writes out Leon, basically.
Oh, her.
Yeah. There's a guy on TikTok that made a 30-foot poster of, not poster,
like a
cutout of her.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I've seen his stuff before.
Yes.
Yeah, he
made like a house of just posters of her.
Yeah, he did like a 30-foot cutout of like the Trash Taste guys, right?
Maybe. I think so. He might
Okay, it's
have,
probably the same guy then.
yeah. But yeah, I was like, Balu's just like this guy.
You know, he kind of fitted out his room to look like yours, Chris. With all the posters you got.
I don't have it of just one character.
Well, that just makes you unfaithful.
Are you being mean to me? I did like this whole scene, basically starting from here, with Balu basically telling his mother like, "Oh, I'm in love with her. Like, could we do something about it?" I was like, man, Sivagami's like trying to be a good mom, but man, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah. Okay. You see, this is like the Game of Thrones shit that I like, right?
Yeah.
Because we got all these characters that are doing things that, from their perspective, seem like the right move.
Yeah.
And because they're all making the right move from their perspective, conflicts happen because they're not seeing eye to eye. It's the same reason why I liked House of the Dragon so much.
Yes.
Because everyone thinks that they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Balu, I don't think he's not. He just wants to do this.
Love conquers all, Chris.
Love of the throne.
Love of the throne.
But yes. So, yeah, I agree. I think that starting from here is where all the political intrigue does really, really well. Because, you know, they send a bad negotiator that's like,
look at all these riches that...
come and marry her son. And I do like that. It's like, you know, they wouldn't say which person or whatever. And I like that Katappa gets mixed up and Devasena was like, oh, shit. Like, this is your son's a coward. He said his own mother, like fucking dumb. like if
he wants to ask me out on a date, he's got to meet me here in person, little bitch.
Yeah, and I do like. And then you know, it's sad too because it's like Baahu's really excited, like, oh, my mom knows me so well, like, and it's just like it's not doing.
It took Baahu way too long to realize that his mother was evil.
Shoot, okay. In terms of the familials,
within the first minute of coming to power, she summarily executed her political rivals, bypassing the legal system.
Yes,
she established herself as the sole authority as head of state.
Yes,
her word is the law. She says that all the time.
She does. Yes,
this is a one-party state, one-party system, and she is that party.
I don't disagree with you. She's not 100% evil.
She has a redemption arc, yes. She saves one person after killing a whole lot more.
Yes. She's obviously there's a lot of references to godhood and stuff, and she's referred to as a god-like person.
Yeah, she is the god queen of the utopian Magismati.
Off the top of your head.
I mean, none of the other rulers are any better.
No. I mean, and she, like I said, she instills in, like, trying to, you know, help people and do good, but she, like a god, when they get in, like, oh, I'm right about this thing, then they don't see anything else outside of that, which we'll get to. It's good shit. And then when Deva denies the request for marriage, Sivagami does say, capture that bitch.
We're going to war.
Yeah.
She won't take my gold, so I'll take her kingdom.
Yeah, and I think was it Balu that said, maybe that's not a great idea. Maybe we just capture her. Was that him, or did she end up thinking that?
I think that was Balu, actually,
okay.
yeah.
No, yeah, because he's like, oh, we'll just send one person. We'll just send
Baahu. Just have Baahu.
And I was like,
kill her or capture her or something. Yeah.
That's the colossal brain that he's got. He's just thinking ahead. He's 2 steps ahead of everyone. Okay, and then we get to the big old fight with the randoms.
Oh yeah, kind of a pointless fight, but still pretty cool though.
Yeah, it was.
We get the whole reveal of Baahu not being a dumbass, and instead being an asshole.
A badass.
Hole.
A badass
hole. Which I'll take that scene just so that we can get the good stuff between him and the noble guy who was training him.
Yeah. Wait, what part are you referring to, him being an asshole?
Because they're all assholes.
What did he do specifically?
He defended the kingdom like an asshole.
Because for me, it seemed like he was just kind of stern because they're in the middle of a fight. So I was like, oh, he's kind of like he's like, I'm done pretending. Like I need to focus. That's how I perceived it. But
No, that's totally what it was. But he's still an asshole.
okay. I put 3 arrows. Because I did like that.
Princess.
Because the princess wanted to do 2.
Use 4 fingers, and she's like, oh.
There was a shot where she was shooting 3, and then he comes around her arm, and then also.
Oh yeah, and then
it's
like the arrows
not on the thing, and it's just like, whoa, how did it launch?
Yeah, didn't like the arrows just kind of apparate out of thin air onto the bow instead of him like drawing it from the quiver.
That I'm not sure. I just saw that when he was doing that, he was not holding the string at all or anything. He was just kind of like off, and then he just let go, and I was like...
Well, chances are the string was probably CG, and it was just...
Well, yeah, but I just thought it was funny, because it looked, like, funny.
I mean, I'm just trying to give reasons. You know, you don't have to come at me for it.
Oh, I don't...
Put the gun away, Chris. I know, you guys can't see it because it's under the table. But.
Yeah, my third arm. Anyway, I put the armor that the randoms had was weak as shit.
Oh yeah, actually, armor in general is weak as shit in this movie.
They just breaks and shit.
And okay,
Baahu's is kind of strong.
Kinda,
yeah.
But here's the thing, right? So historically, like. Arrows are very ineffective against people wearing armor because they'll just bounce off. In this movie, you shoot an arrow at a guy, it just goes right through the armor.
Through 3 of them sometimes.
Yeah, with 1 arrow.
Let's see. There was a scene where like Baahu's in front of the castle where Deva is. And he fucking becomes the Flash.
Oh yeah!
He's just, I was like,
everyone else is in slow, and he's just.
That was very funny.
Yeah, that was yeah. When I saw that, I actually rewound 10 seconds because I thought I missed something. And it's just nope. All right, I guess.
I guess he's the Flash.
I guess he's a speedster.
Let's see. They mentioned the 3-eyed Lord Triambaka. That I don't know anything about.
I don't remember this.
This is in the songs.
Oh,
they mentioned Goddess Bhavani. Also don't know her. Apologies. Then the flood happens. The great flood of the gods is. Well, just Baahu just
like when he releases the dam. Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's like a flood.
Oh, sure. It makes sense if you.
Many people died, Adam, and. Some bulls, I don't know if they actually died. Flaming bulls also.
He killed them all with water.
With water.
And in the process, he ruined the small kingdom's only water source.
I mean, we know it's not going to last that long, the kingdom.
I mean, it got invaded, but like economically, it was probably going to collapse anyways, so...
Lovely. I did like the scene when Baahu starts talking to Deva and reveals who he is and stuff, and she hits him with the flaming torch, and then all of his like clothes burn off into the armor and shit. I was like,
"Oh fuck, it's the king!"
That's pretty cool. Yeah, all of them were just like, "Oh my god, my lord, I'm so sorry that we fucking insulted you." I've been liking this flashback more than the original plot.
Yeah,
I was like once I did like because this whole scene too where Baahu gets the letter saying, "Oh, we need to capture her as prisoner," and he's like, "Will you go with me as prisoner?" I was like, "It's very Baahu, like just being upfront." And she's like, "I will not like I love you and I will like do a lot of things, but I will not throw away my dignity." And I was like, "I respect that." And he's like, "All right, I will promise you not to have that thrown away." And then and then the court scene happens, and it's I mean, we got the flying swan boat.
Oh yeah, that was I got a really good like desktop screenshot out of that. Very weird scene.
It's just very weird. But here's where shit goes down. Here's like for me the best part of the movie.
I will not disagree.
Yeah. I appreciate that. So we have Baahu, who promised and gave his word that Deva will not be like dishonored. We got Sivagami making a promise with Balu that he will be wed to this woman, and this that's the main crux of the issue, and it just goes to shit because of course it's all in public because they gotta have the public opinion, and everyone's cheering for Baahu, and I like how even in the beginning steps of it, like we have Deva and Sivagami like making up. They're like, Dick Deva's like, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have been so hasteful, and then she's like, people who recognize this stuff like are honorable and smart, like it's okay, forgiven. It's like, stand next to my son, and then I was like, I can't watch this shit. I was like, no, don't do this to me.
Devasena, what are you doing?
He's like,
I'm standing next to your son. No, that one.
He's like, she's like, I thought I fell in love with him, with Baahu, and everyone's like, no. And I also like that Balu's dad kept trying to get up to show like how hasteful he was, but Balu kept pushing him down. Like,
no,
we have to let
we got to see how this plays out.
Yeah, well, because like they knew if they intervened, they'd like
they'd be the aggressors. Yeah,
they have to let them like realize like, oh, things aren't as they are, and like they're conflicting with each other, and that's really smart. Be patient. And Sivagami just fucking goes off. She's like, what the fuck? Like, capture her and shit. And like Baahu, like, you gonna really do this? But I was like, I said things. Like, I can't be dishonoring like my word or her. Like,
Mother, you taught me to not go back on my word, so I'm gonna not go back on my word. And this lady, I gave her my word, so I protect her.
Yeah, well, I also like that they said about Sivagami that it's like, oh, does your word mean more than hers? Like what does that mean? And so I was like, oh, okay, like this is like nice, more political intrigue, and when Deva's like you shouldn't promise me to anyone. Like I'm making that choice, like of who I'm marrying, and Sivagami's like, that's absurd.
What? Marrying for love?
He's like, I didn't. But yeah, the whole courtroom scene was very, very good. It kind of just showed all the characters' personalities. Like I said, it's
conflicting interests.
Mm-hmm. All started by Balu because he's a prick, but he's a smart prick, which is dangerous. And he
could prick you.
Sure. Does he stab anyone? I don't think
he crushes people.
I was gonna say, I don't think he
slices people.
We'll get to that. He doesn't actually stab anyone in this movie, I don't think. Like,
he makes Katappa stab someone.
His dad stabbed someone.
Yeah.
So
he.
I mean, that's not important. It was just something I found. Let's see. Oh, here it is. I put hard cut from the coronation, like from this.
Oh, was that the one where it was like dramatic music and then just?
Yeah, it's a different scene because the coronation happens and they denounce Baahu, or Siva denounces Baahu as king because he stands up to his mom, which I was like, I like that this feels like it's not just like a political thing, but this feels like very much like a family. We're just like, oh, like you stand up to the matriarch, you're gonna get punished. Which I was like, oh, this feels very, it's realistic. But he gets demoted to the first guard, or whatever the fucking the general. Or something.
He's not the king anymore. He's the commander of the army or whatever.
Sure. But then Balu gets put as king, but all the people are like,
no, we will not accept this Baahu. He's such a cool guy.
Baahubali, they cheer.
Baahubali.
Yeah, and so they cheer, and Bahu's kind of like, I'm just gonna be the commander. I'm gonna pretend I don't hear any of this. Like, and then they make an earthquake and stuff. Which for me, I was like, how did Baalu get so many people to support him? Like his army. I'm like, I mean,
well, I mean. I've never thought about this before, so I don't know how to answer that.
Because if he was the commander, I would understand the army supporting him more. But Baahu was the commander, and so I don't know why Baalu got like so much respect from. Well, he didn't even get respect. It's just all the soldiers were like, "Yeah, we'll listen to him." When the people, were like for Baahu, and Baahu was their commander, so I was like, "That's kind of weird," but I don't know. That's another critique, if we think about it.
If we could wait a moment.
Baby crying.
There's a baby crying outside.
That's Baahu Jr. being born. That's
Baahu Jr. in the whole film. He's like, oh, I want to go to up the waterfall. And then he's like, oh, I want to kill the guy who insulted my mother. That's what he's like.
Yeah.
Is it over? Is it gone?
Shut the fuck up.
I think it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, getting to that, after the coronation and stuff, Devasena got pregnant.
There's a baby shower.
There's a baby shower, and I also like this because the gifts and stuff were being given where fucking Balu's like, you'd want to be with your husband, so I'm firing him. And I was like, this man, he's an ass, but I respect it. Like,
also, smart move on his part.
Yeah.
If you have, if the commander of your armed forces is more popular with the people than you are, then you're gonna get overthrown really quickly.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think Baalu in this movie, he does like every move correctly, other than. If he was just less of an asshole, he probably would have gone away with it like scot-free. But he's just
like
an
Baahu
ass.
didn't even really like want to be king in the beginning. He was just like, oh, if I am chosen, I'll do it. Like, but he liked Baalu like up until this point, so he probably would have been fine with it if Baalu was chosen as king.
Yeah.
But no, Baalu's just got to be a little asshole.
Yeah.
And crush people to death with his big fucking sphere thing. With the chain.
Yeah. Ball and chain.
Baalu chain.
Baalu chain. Copyright that. Trademark that. But yeah, like, I genuinely think if he was just less of an asshole, he would have just 100% everything would have worked out for Baalu. But anyway, we got, maybe it's Kumaran. I apologize. My handwriting's really bad. But the bromance between him and Baahu flourished after. Yeah, we didn't really talk about it, but you mentioned it briefly.
Oh, the head of the guard in Devasena's kingdom.
Yeah. His whole.
I really like
coward, and then
I really like his arc.
Yeah, it was very good, and it's good and tragic too. Like it's a small like sub arc
because of the bravery he attained from that arc. He did something stupid and got himself killed.
Yeah, it's good.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it's good writing. This movie is, I think, just quite better than the first movie.
Yes.
Let's see. I really also well, we'll get to that stuff, but they were just talking and being friendly. But I really like the line. Compared to a villain's violence, a good man's silence shatters a kingdom.
That's a good line.
I was like, that line's great. Like when Deva says that to Sivagami, I was like, oh yeah, that's great. That's a great line to show about the whole view of like the bystander effect and just how people can like let terrible things go just because like that's it's very easy. Just stand by and do nothing and be like, oh, that person is the asshole. It's like, well, you didn't stop them.
There's a couple of really good lines in this movie. Like,
this one?
There's another one at the court scene. It was like, so this is how democracy dies, with thundering applause. Then
Yes.
there's another one, when he's doing the construction stuff a bit later. He's like, and he has to move a bunch of earth, and he says, "I hate sand. It's rough and coarse and gets everywhere."
I knew it was gonna be a bit. I just didn't know where it was going. Okay. Then we get Devasena's pregnant, and she has to
Oh
go
yeah,
to the castle.
I think this was the hypest part in the whole movie. In the trial scene.
Well, right before the trial.
Yeah.
Where the new commander is like about to feel up, like he's touching all the women, but then he's about to feel up Deva, and then she just fucking grabs a knife and chops off his fingers, and then he's like, ah! And I was like, Deva,
Yeah.
go off, queen. We love you. And then the second court scene happens, which is also the other best scene in the movie.
This was the hypest moment in the movie. Sivagaami and King Balu are like, "Why did you chop off his fingers?" My lord, she chopped off my fingers. Owie.
Yeah, and she's like, he was gonna like assault me, and then Baahu comes in. And so
He walks in, bypasses the legal system entirely. Devasena, you were wrong.
Go.
When a man assaults you, you do not chop off his fingers. You chop off his head.
Dude, I wish I had a recording of myself, because I literally was like, "Oh my god!" And I think I paused the movie because I was like, "Holy shit!"
That was
I was
fucking
so
awesome.
excited.
It's fucking hype, and then pearls drop, and everyone screams like, "Oh!"
Yeah, you know what? It's very reminiscent of
That scene in The Last Jedi where they ram the ship into the other ship.
I was gonna say it's similar to House of the Dragons.
How
Damien chops off.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that was a better example. I was thinking that because like that one decision was like real hype, and it like changed the course of the narrative.
Well, I was thinking like the insulted honor and D&D, and he chopped off.
This is true. He also bypassed the judicial system.
And I like how in both the royalties like, why'd you do that?
Come on, man.
and then
We're supposed to be classy here. Come on.
yeah, and then they're like, oh, what's the punishment? It's like, oh, you got to get banished from the castle. And then then there's another line.
Oh, no.
Like, well, yeah, because Baahu and Deva get banished, and then the people wait outside. They're like, this is not a bad thing. This is a blessing. Like,
They're coming to live with us.
Yeah, they come to live with us. And I'm like, that's great. That's good shit.
The rich guys are out in the open with no security. We can rob them. This is great.
Yeah, but everyone loves Baahu and Deva.
Yes,
So,
everyone loves them because Baahu is good at everything.
I mean, he also cares for the people.
Does he? Does he care for the people?
Yeah.
Does he?
What do you mean? We see him with the...
He's a politician.
He literally created the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, then we get the Industrial Revolution where he just builds shit.
And he invented air travel like 5 years earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry, our producer called, so we had to pause.
Yeah. Anyway, what we're saying, yeah, they're banished. The Industrial Revolution. He creates flying.
What does he build during that? He
builds,
I don't remember what I remember the contraption that he built, but that was for something. I don't remember what it was for.
Yeah, well, one was he launched water, he got a boat to grab water.
Yeah, that was just for like a recreational thing, though it wasn't.
Yeah, but the other one was they were.
Because I remember that was like, it was like he saw
chopping.
problems with the supply chain, and then
They were breaking something, right? Like, were they breaking wood, or were they breaking...
or stone, or
Yeah. They were breaking something. I think it was stones, but I don't remember why. And so they just broke it through the machine, which got... I think that's what it was, right?
Yeah, there was something where they smashed the rocks, and then there was a thing where they cut the rocks. There was something where they were growing wheat, I think, for a little bit.
I don't remember that part.
Okay.
I mean, I believe you. Let's see. What else? We're almost done. Oh, I put. This is where they trick Kumara. I was like, oh, Balu and his dad are playing chess right now.
Yeah.
Because like they're fighting because Balu's like, I want to kill fucking. Or he gets the assassin that was gonna attack Baahu, and then he's like, oh,
he follows them back to the
Kumara follows them back to Balu and his dad, and then Balu's like, oh, you failed me, don't do that again. And then Balu's dad's like, no son, you shouldn't be doing this. This is bad. Do you have anything? And then
I don't have anything to
Then what
say.
happens after that, Adam?
The credits roll. No, it's a good setup. It makes sense that they'd be doing this snaky shit.
Yeah, but then Kumara talks with Balu's dad, and what happens?
And Balu's dad is like, "Oh no, you should call the police."
You should call the police.
Yeah, you have to counter assassinate Balu so that Baahu lives.
Yeah.
But it was a lie.
Yeah. And
He goes to Balu's bedroom and then
oldest trick in the book, by the way. Pillows. Pillows
just
underneath
pillows,
the sheets.
yeah.
They did that in Lord of the Rings too.
They did, yeah.
They do it everywhere. The thing is, people are dumb. They don't know that pillows aren't actually people.
You could have tried to like set fire to the royal palace.
That there's more people than just them two. Than just Balu, I guess.
Does he care about them?
Yeah, he does.
Does he?
Kumara's good.
Kinda.
What do you mean?
Like the whole point of his character is that like he's not a great guy, but he has a little bit of redemption, you know.
Even a shitty guy doesn't go, well, why don't we just kill everyone?
What do you mean? That's Balu.
Okay.
That's Sivagaami,
Balu's
dude.
evil though. And Siva is an authoritarian.
Okay,
Like,
you know what? Okay, to be fair, she's more like, I want to kill all my enemies.
yes, she does want to say kill all my enemies. Anyway, Balu is like, oh my god, you surprised me, and then he kills all of Kumara's men, and then Kumara dies. I was like,
not before taking out a good like dozen of Balu's guards. And
but then Balu's like, oh no, you killed all my men in an attack.
And you scarred my face. Oh, so someone's gonna have to pay for this insolence.
It's very good.
Yes.
And then Balu's dad fucking stabs him. And then what else happens? Then they bring in Siva, and they're like, look what happened. Baahu did this. His best friend is like fucking dead here because they tried to attack me. Mother, what are you gonna do?
And then his mother's like, oh no, I have to kill my son.
Yeah. And I do like that they're like, he's not even your blood, so they keep trying to prod her. She's like, he's already dead. Like, we have to kill him. Like, this is an assassination attempt. Like, there's no way we could just forgive this. But I also really like that she's like, oh, if we just kill him outright, it'll look like a political feud. And that would be terrible.
We have to keep this
people.
blood away from the royal family.
Yeah.
Let's get that slave guy to do it.
Yeah. And I was like, that's smart. Like, you know, you don't want to have this like attention.
Realpolitik.
But she doesn't know that it actually is a royal feud, which is dramatic irony. It's very good.
They get Katappa to do it, but then Katappa's like, no, I can't do it. And then Sivagami's like, well, do you want me to do it? I'll fucking do it. And then Katappa's like, no, I'll do it. Fine.
And then this part I was a little confused. So they tied him to
yeah, this was a bit of a convoluted plan.
Yeah. But that's why I wasn't sure if this was like this wasn't just coincidence, it was planned, right? But
the guards tie up Katappa.
Yes.
And try to burn him at the stake.
Yes. Baahu
and that's just to lure out Baahu.
Which also Deva's giving birth at
the same time. Yes. Which, you know, that's a good way to draw him out.
Yes.
But Katappa could have also just like
said, "Hey, can we meet?
Can we meet at this point?" But at the same time, they also brought in the blackface guys from the first movie.
Yes, which I was like, did Balu just be like, oh hey, the guy who killed your leader is over here, and they didn't really explain that part like at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they set fire to the tree. Well, he doesn't do it on purpose. It's like lightning hits it.
It's like real dramatic. Ooh.
And then Katappa and him are fighting, and then
He gets hit with a bunch of arrows.
yeah, which was like, oh shit, he's fucking dead. I'm sorry, man, you're not coming back from that. But he's still fighting and doing a lot, and then he throws Katappa a sword. Katappa's like, whoosha! And then after he catches it, he's like fighting off the guys, and then he starts crying and turns around to Baahu and,
Is this what I must do? Do I kill the boy I have raised as my own son?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, then he's just crying. And then Baahu, very tragically dies, says
He's not even mad about it.
he's like, take care of my mother, which is like, sad stuff. He's dead. And then this is probably the dumbest part of the movie, where Balu's like, I have now killed my brother. I have betrayed everyone. I'm a liar. Ah! Then Katappa's
It was
like,
me the whole time.
yeah. I would think that it's
Twirls his mustache.
I would think that it was actually really dumb if he was like, Katappa, what? You told my mom? But like, he doesn't actually give a shit, because he's like, no, now that I have power, I really don't care anymore. Like he's kind of just gloating. So I'm like, it's dumb, but I'm like, it fits with his like character of just being like, well, now that I've outsmarted everyone, I can just be like an arrogant prick now. Yeah. So Katappa tells Siva like, oh, your son's a fucking bitch.
And then Steve's like, oh no,
Whoops.
I was stupid.
Yeah. They also see Deva. She comes in, and then they're like, Katappa's like, I killed your husband with these hands. He's all blooded, like with Bahu's blood. And then,
Also, before that, just a little bit, visual symbolism. Katappa's hands are with the blood, and then he like goes over to Sivagaami, and he rubs her hands with Bahu's blood. It's like, oh my god, we're both red-handed.
yeah,
And she's like, oh.
blood on both of our hands.
And then Devasena gets to the palace, even though she was banned. Where are the guards? They just let her in?
I don't know. So yeah, that happens, and then Sivagami's like, well, like Balu comes in and is like, I win, haha, and then Siva takes fucking Baahu Jr. and it's like, this is your king, and then
people are like, Baahubali, yeah.
And then she dies.
She dies.
So she gets chased out, and
Balu takes one arrow and phew,
yeah, and then she floats down the river
for presumably like hundreds of miles and falls down a waterfall.
But it is a lot of miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she falls down because
Oh yeah, that's right. She comes out through the cave.
Yeah, so she somehow gets over there, and I'm like, she travels a lot. She survived all of that just to drown at the bottom of the waterfall. It sucks. Sorry. But yeah, that's kind of the end of the flashback, right?
Yeah. And then we cut back to
The flashback was very good.
yes, we cut back to the present day stuff where now we suddenly don't care as much
Because we had 3 hours of flashback. We had more flashback than present time stuff.
And this one we did, yeah.
I think in general too.
Oh, in general, ooh.
It was like an hour, right? Wasn't it like an hour, or was it 40 minutes ish?
It doesn't matter because it should have been 3 movies.
It does matter because you're wrong. I mean, I understand.
I will accept 2 4-hour movies. Will you reach me in the middle?
will you accept one, just the flashback? So let's see.
Yeah, so Junior leads a populist uprising.
Yes.
And wins.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can talk about the fights we got.
It's a pretty good fight. I like it.
There's a lot of things that happen. Like
Yeah.
you got the bigger lawnmower.
The bigger lawnmower.
Which I like.
You got the palm tree fling.
Yeah.
Which Did you notice that in the first wave of the fling, there was just that one group that just hit the top of the wall and fell down?
I did not see that. That's so funny.
They were like 5 meters short, and they just hit the wall and die.
That's kind of good though. I like
those little details. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. But they invade by being launched like that because that's definitely how it works, and they wouldn't all be dead. Let's see. Katappa, is fighting, and then Balu's dad comes through, and he's like, maybe you should kill him this time for real. You should kill Junior like you did Senior, haha. And then Katappa's like, I gave my word to Sivagaami,
the true king.
Yeah, and then he's like, shucks. And that happens, I guess. And then I thought Katappa was gonna kill him, but
no.
He lives till the end.
He does, yeah.
Like he's at the end of the movie. He's like, "Yep, here's your royal crown." like, sure. I don't think he gives a crown, but whatever. The final showdown, I put Baahu is stronger than Balu, but Balu's more skilled because he's had more fighting and training and stuff.
Yeah.
But then Baahu fucking wraps chains around his hands and then makes a whip and then punches like gloves, and I'm like, that's kind of sick.
I feel like I've seen that idea in a different movie.
Yeah.
Or a video game or something. I don't remember where though.
Me neither. What else of the fighting did you like?
I had this thought.
Uh-oh.
That I feel like would have been really good if they expanded on it a little bit, because the setup was kind of there already. Because in the flashback, during the coronation scene, the people cause an earthquake because they're so upset about how Balu is king and Baahu isn't. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they're doing physical damage to the palace, the symbol of the king and the kingdom and the monarchy. Mm-hmm. And at the final scene here, in the final fight, in the process of ousting Baahu as king or Balu as king and installing Baahu Jr., they are doing even more physical damage to the palace. So it's like Balu's kingdom is crumbling around him, but there's not enough stuff in there for that to be like an actual thematic thing. It was just a thought I had. That I thought that, damn, that would have been cool, but
missed opportunity.
You know, if they had more screen time, like if it was like a full 3-hour feature for just this final fight, like in Lord of the Rings.
I don't think that this fight needed 3 hours.
I don't think you're right.
We also got the giant gold statue falling over, and
yeah, that's probably symbolic for something. No, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because when Balu kidnaps Devasena and brings her back into the palace during the final fight, he steps on her face.
And then she walks over the face.
She walks over the face of the statue to get to the thing to light him on fire. So it's all like full circles. Like, haha, I would now, bitch.
Yeah. And then he gets fucking lit on fire. And he's dead. Woo!
And he has visions of Baahubali as the bigger statue in the clouds.
Yeah. And then Bahu's like, Wah-cha!
And kills him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't do that.
Pins him to the thing, then he dies.
Yeah. And then Baahu Jr. becomes king.
And nothing changes for the people. There has been no significant difference or any change at all to this political structure or system.
But now it's just
royal family shenanigans.
Leader. But now they have a nice leader.
Is he nice?
Not as nice as Senior. Senior was nice.
The only thing that the people know about Junior is that he's good at killing people.
Yes.
The future does not bode well for the kingdom of Magismati.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's
the movie.
That's
pretty
the
much.
Movie. Actually, real quick, when Baahu becomes king, there's like a stamp at the end.
Oh yeah, that's it. This is a film. It was an RRR as well. It's like the director's seal thing.
Yeah.
But whatever his name is, that's what's on the thing.
But then after, there's like a 3-minute scene of just Balu's head fucking going through the world.
Yeah.
Like just floating.
Falls down the waterfall and it shatters next to the the shrine to Shiva that Junior brought over to the waterfall earlier, and so that's probably symbolic for something.
Yeah, God's divine favor, I assume, or something.
And the gold head shatters.
Yeah,
and it's symbolic.
But yeah, that's the movie. We talked about this a while.
The first movie was worth it to get to this one.
Yes, this movie was very good.
Yes. Not as good as RRR though.
I think just because it's not as concise.
Yeah.
It's a little over the place. If this is the track that the director's going, he's getting better every movie.
Yeah.
So
and RRR was just straight up like the second best movie of last year. Which means that the next one he makes is gonna
be really good.
It's gonna blow my fucking mind.
Yeah.
More than RRR did.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for that.
So this
RRR.
Yeah, 4 R's.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he's doing good.
I look forward to his next release.
Yes.
I'm intrigued by his work.
Yeah. This is good. This is a good experience watching both Baahus.
Yeah. We continue to ruin ourselves in Indian cinema by watching the good stuff first.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's another recommendation that we had a while ago that we'll get to. I don't even know if that person's still watching us, but
Bye.
yeah. He wanted to do these. We'll get to the other one. We have a lot more things we're going to watch and read and play and stuff. So be patient. We'll get there eventually.
And eventually the podcast will end.
Everything does.
And that's where you just hard cut and the episode ends.
I mean, it's fine to say.
No, it was good. It was like it was cool. It was poetic.
And I don't bark.
And I don't care anymore.
Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, or dislike.
Hit that notification bell. What's up, the I don'ters? Come and join our Patreon and the
Patreon,
the GoFundMe to get with
us
a $20 goal to get us a new bag of tea.
All right, bye.